Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next part of Adiraiju Plays Godzilla Monster of Monsters on the NES. For this game, well, I will have to confess. Last time that I played this, I didn't actually know what I was talking about a great deal of the time, but since then, I have done a great deal of research on this game, and hopefully now I know a little bit more about what I'm talking about. Yes, those are key lock saucers, stop that. But, I was a little wrong in exactly how Godzilla and Mothra moved around the board. So you see, every single one of those hexagons that you move through, that's one of the stages that you're going to move through as well. How did I figure this out, you might ask? Well, some basic pattern recognition helps. See what I mean? 2 volcano stages means 2 volcano stages. So, yeah, that was accurate. Mars, like before, has Mars actually up and in the background for some reason, and there's nothing to be found on Earth. More accurately, there's nothing to be found in the foreground. That Moonlight SY-3 up there, the blue ship that just flew past, and the one that's flying past right now, again, those blue things are actually designed to help the player out. Moonlight SY-3 is the one bit of help from Earth that you'll be getting throughout the game. Yeah, that's quite helpful, at least. Alright. Boy, I remember Matango. Ugh. Fun fact. These mushroom things are just going to get more obnoxious in later levels for reasons that will become more evident later on. You see those fireballs that they're spitting out? If you hit those fireballs, not if they hit you, if you hit them, it will act as if it just plain hit you with something, and it will knock you back. This is true even with Mothra. And even if Mothra hits those things with one of her pellet attacks, that will count as being hit, and it will force you to the ground. Fortunately, once you destroy the Matango hive, you'll get quite a lot of points, enough almost to constitute a level up. So right now, I'm going to be flying as Mothra again, and as you've figured out by now, Mars is composed mostly of volcano stages. That's useful and obnoxious at the same time because volcano stages, the enemies usually drop a lot of health, but they also dispense a lot of health, they deal out a lot of damage in the process. So, you're just going to be hit a lot, even more than in Earth, but you're also going to be healed a lot. This isn't so bad. Volcano stages it's just sort of annoying to get through more than anything else, I suppose. Nope. Ow. Thank you, Moonlight SY-3. And Moonlight SY-3 will also, if you're lucky, drop health power-ups as well. Ow. Come on, you. Owie. Nope, you missed me. Aye! Jerks. So on that level, come on, just drop a lot of wing flakes. I was about to say skin flakes, but that would be gross. Now, watch this. Ugh. Collision detection in this game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on how the game's feeling. Is it feeling merciful? No? Well, then you are hosed! Beep, beep. Alrighty. Think I'll head down. Sure, I'll take on Mogura. Because why the hell not? Let's beat the dickens out of him. One thing that's particularly annoying about the game is that even though there is a password system, and and here comes the most obnoxious enemy in the game. These things are also known as the horseshoe crabs of doom, and what you need to do when you're facing these things is just stay away from them. In theory, I think they can be destroyed, but it's going to be really difficult to do for a number of reasons. First off, they attack fast, and they attack hard. And worse, they will charge at you and they will drag Godzilla into the corner, causing damage to him the whole way. And they will just keep attacking and attacking you until there is nothing left. The fortunate thing, they cannot turn around once they are behind you. They will home in on you when they are in front of you, but if they're behind you, they simply can't turn around and it's pointless. So, yeah, unless you get knocked back and into them, in which case you're in for a world of hurt. Alright, so Mogra is down. That's helpful. Fortunately, also, they do not usually attack you unless you are on, come on up. Fortunately, they also won't usually attack you unless you're at least level 3 or up. But the further you go in the game, the more common they get, so you have been warned. Boom, 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 ba-boom. Nope. Now, I'm a little surprised as to why the Moonlight SY-3 is the only ship that's helping Godzilla in the game, especially considering that in the movies, both Atragon and the Super X were actually very helpful towards Godzilla in general. Come on, you. There we go. Screw you, bars. As you might have been guessing by now, there are a couple of palette swaps for levels, and is there any difference? Well, not appreciably. It's just that when you start tackling the palette swaps, it means that the game's starting to get a little nasty and mean. So once that palette swap is there, you'll know you're reaching the end of the game. Well, more accurately, the end of the level. These pinwheels are annoying. They don't do much damage, but they tend to split off into groups of several of them, and once they're knocked back, well, once they attack you, they're just keep attacking you, and I don't know if there's a limit to how often they split up, and I don't want to find out. Now, screw you, pinwheels, screw you, Phoenix, screw you, level. Nope, 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 nobody, nope. Ah, that's a new enemy. There's just these big pillars of fire, and you're going to want to fly over near them and douse them with wings of your Mothra, or just attack the very tip-top of them of your Godzilla, because for some reason, only the very tops of them are attackable. Attackable? Is that a word? It should be, because it sums up these things pretty well. Oh, you're just so attackable. That's why I'm going to attack you. Arrgh! Down you go. You can technically... Ow, 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 stop that. Not nice. You can actually just fly right past all this. That's one of the great things about being Mothra, is that you can attack everything in your path, but you can also fly over and past it if you're not feeling so merciful. You can also drop loads and loads of petals on some of the more obnoxious obstacles and enemies from above, which can be useful, as you can see. On the other hand, it also tends to drain your energy bar very quickly, so you're going to want to take that in with a grain of salt. Nope. Come on, you. Boom, 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 bada boom. The end. What I would personally like in this game is if once Godzilla or Mothra went through a stage and wiped out a whole bunch of enemies, those enemies stayed wiped out, because that would be so very useful. But is that how it works? No. What's even worse is that if one of your monsters gets to the satellite dish warp space on the opposite side of the grid and moves to the next level, then the other monster has to do that as well. Because if it fails, if it screws up, and if you die on the way there, then it's an instant game over. Because yes, you only have one life in this game for each monster. If Godzilla dies but Mothra's still on the board, then it's okay. If you move to the next level, you can actually regenerate the other monster, but it will also cost you some health. No, wait, it's not going to cost you health, it costs you a level. And once you bring it back to life, you lose one level. And that makes it a little harder, but not impossible. However, it is obnoxious. There we go. You see why I don't like chasing that top of that thing around? Alright. Varan is new to Mars. And, he is much more aggressive than Godzilla or Mogra. He's the first one that'll give you something of an attack, but he's the first one that'll give you something of a challenge, but he's still not that tough, because A, he only has his marching forward and clawing attacks, and B, if he gets hit several times really hard, he will reel back in pain with, like that, and that, and that. But he also has a wonky hitbox. And the reason that I'm doing this right now is because it's actually really easy to do a lot of damage to him if you just attack him in the groin. I'm not exaggerating either. Groin and the thighs to a bit, and a bit to the stomach. But otherwise you run the risk of, for some reason, your attacks going right past him, and I'm not sure why. For those of you who've noticed that sometimes the level will shoot backwards, and more accurately, that the game will sometimes kick you out of the boss fight and send you into the hexagons again. That's because there's a 40-second timer on all these boss fights. You can't see it, but it will kick you out of the game. Rather, it will kick you out of the fight. And for every time that the... Not going to move, we're going to fight Varan. And for every turn you take without attacking the enemy monster will regenerate a little bit of health. This can sometimes actually be useful in later stages, because against really powerful monsters that will be coming up later, you might want to back off and regenerate health, because you can regenerate a lot more health than they can in other stages if you play your cards right. But if you're not really careful, this is also a really good opportunity for the enemy monsters to just plain smack you silly. Godzilla, this is why Godzilla actually becomes a little dangerous in later levels, because as... Oh, come on! I almost had him! Oh, for God's sakes. Godzilla is not fun to fight as Mothra, because while he doesn't do a whole lot of damage, he will kick you in the corner, and he will make the timer run out. And when I have to fight Varan again, he'll have regenerated a little bit of health. And that's no fun. And of course, as you may have noticed, Mothra can't actually fly over enemy monsters. Yeah, she just basically gets knocked down like she'd hit a solid wall. And that's annoying. Godzilla basically just serves as a delayer in later parts of the game. I'm not going to move, I'm going to fight the enemy, but I'm going to fight Varan, because I refuse to die that quickly and easily. Whack, 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 whack. As you may have noticed, a lot of Varan's moves are actually taken directly from Godzilla Unleashed, where Varan was a playable monster. So that's useful. Fortunately, you also gain a lot of points, and you can be lifted up a level. Oh, come on! Sometimes Godzilla will be obnoxious and spam ya too. But anyways, fighting the enemy monsters will give you a lot of points, and it can theoretically send you up a level. So, this is actually quite useful for Mothra, because as much as obnoxious as Godzilla's habit of spamming the timer is, it will also allow you to rack up the points and level up, and that's more helpful in later stages where you're going to want to level up. Believe you me, you're going to want to level up. No, you know what? I'm going to take down Godzilla too as Mothra. Because fortunately, as annoying as Godzilla is, I actually can best him as Mothra. In fact, Mothra is actually sort of useful for a number of different monsters that you're going to be fighting later, but I'll get to those when I get to them. Alright, so that's the end of Godzilla. Now, onwards to victory, I hope. Mothra's actually also good against dealing with those horseshoe fireballs because she could dodge them a lot more easily. The horseshoe fireballs will zoom in on your position, and they will kill you if you're not really careful. But, as Mothra... I've never actually seen that before. I've never seen the horseshoes just fly so low that they go down out of the screen. I gotta try that again sometime. Didn't even know they could do that, really. Nope, you missed. And I did not. Because I rule and you don't. Ow. Stupid rocks. No. Yeah, in those little red dots are particularly obnoxious because they will damage Godzilla before he can dodge them. Yeah, Mothra is not so bad because Mothra can dodge, but Godzilla can't. Godzilla can't dodge worth a darn. Well, in theory he can dodge, but in practice, not so easy. Nope. Just gonna keep moving along. Thank you, Moonlight SY3. Oh, come on, I forgot that I was out of power. But, thankfully, I didn't have to worry about that for too long. I'm not sure why the Super X has changed sides or why there's so many of them. I guess the X-aliens duplicated them or something, but whatever. Oh, come on, you. And... ow. No, I'm gonna show off there. That's what I meant to show off at the end of the last level. Sometimes that happens. Now that Mothra has gone in the field, we're going to have to be extra careful as Godzilla, because if we're not, we run the risk of getting game over. And that's no fun, especially since we went through all the trouble of beating up Varan and Mogra as Mothra. Come on, you. When it would have been so much easier to do it as Godzilla. Now, here's a reason that I might actually lose. Nope. And that's the best way to dodge those things, by the way, is to jump up really high and then just run. And you're going to want to retreat to the back of the stage whenever you see one of them coming. Because if you do that, then you actually stand a chance of dodging them. And even if you don't dodge them, they can't drag you across the screen and eat up your health the whole way. So that's useful. See what I mean? Now just back up. Ow, 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 ow. Just stop it. Problem solved. I actually am thankful that the power meter goes back up as soon as you move to a new stage, because I can't tell you how many times that saved my butt. Okay, you know what? You're annoying. That's the only unfortunate thing about the Moonlight SY3 is it hangs sort of back near the end of the stage, so by the time it drops its payload, which can actually be very useful against a number of monsters, it's sort of gone already. The payload itself can be knocked off, can just be dragged off the screen as you advance, so there's no real point to having gone to all that effort. But whatever. Boom, 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 whack, 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 kicking, kicking. Oh, crap! Nope. You missed me. Well, not entirely, but you missed me enough. You came close to missing me. No. Problem solved. Okay, come on, I want to get that health power up, because who knows when the next horseshoe fireball is going to come along, and it's safe! Well, that wasn't so hard. Yeah, you can tell you've sort of run out of things to talk about when you start singing along to the background music. Boom. So overall, the game isn't really that bad, but it is kind of repetitive. It's not that bad as of yet, the repetition, but it will get obnoxious later on. Oh yes, it will. Mars isn't too bad, and I think I already said this. You see what I mean about being repetitive? Uh-oh. No. Oh, whew. That was close. Fortunately, there's just not that many of those things in the later levels, but once you get towards the end, they start coming in all over the place. So you're gonna just wanna back off and be real careful. I know that goes against, oh boy, the tenet of Godzilla being the king of the monsters, but it'll keep you alive. And that is always good. Just keep fighting and living and breathing, because living is good and dying not so good. Down you go. And kaboom. Next. I'm gonna fight ya as soon as you pop up. Oh, come on. I thought it was gonna pop up. There it goes. Boom. Uh-oh. You look familiar. I think you can destroy those fireballs, but it will take a lot of strength, and they will be sending knockback at you the whole way. So it's not a good idea to even try and fight them. Just keep moving forward. Catch you. Thank goodness, only one level left. Now you see what I mean? I couldn't have reacted, I could not have dodged that. As difficult as it is to dodge attacks as Godzilla, it's completely impossible while you're still doing the entering animation. Boom. Boom. Fortunately, uh-oh. No. I'm not gonna deal with you anymore. I'm just thankful that those things can't even turn around a little bit, because some of those missiles, they can turn around, and they're a bit annoying, but ooh boy, if they actually the game would be completely impossible to beat if they could turn around, because they just keep hammering you until you are gone. It takes a lot to take those things down. And you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. But anyways, we have gone through Mars. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on the next world, Jupiter. See you then.